Hey guys, I'm Nicole and welcome to my channel. I thought I would give you guys a short garden tour today. It is morning, the sun is starting to come out though, so hopefully it won't be too bright for you guys. I am going to do my morning run soon, but first I thought I would just show you the few things that we've done in the garden. It's exciting, we did get some things done last week. First of all, let me show you this rose that I have. It's a climbing rose. I got it from Tractor Supply a couple of years ago, and I've decided that this year what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a blossom that's about to open and put it beside my bedside table all summer long, so I'll have a pretty flower, a pretty rose by my bedside table all year, or most of the year anyway. I did that a couple of weeks ago, and I started that, and it's just so much fun, and it's just a nice little touch to my room. My daughter Mabry's here with me today. But first of all, something that I got done, or my husband really, he helped me so much, is we got all of the walkways taken care of. We put pine straw down instead of mulch because the mulch was just turning into dirt, and then all kinds of weeds were growing up into it. And so it was a job. I was hoeing and my husband was hoeing too. We were trying to get all the weeds up as much as we could anyway before we laid down the pine straw. And I'm sure we are going to have to, weed still, but it looks so much better. It looks so nice and clean. I love it when the walkways are just fresh and clean looking. It just helps, I don't know, so much. It helps the look of the garden. So first of all, I have my lettuce. It is still doing well. Before long, it will be bolting. I have some here that's like about ready to bolt, but I am getting a salad every day from my lettuce for lunch, and it is great. I love growing my own lettuce. That's one of the things that I really look forward to all year long. And then I have more lettuce and strawberries. These strawberry beds that I have right here, I have 3 of them, is where I had my pole beans last year, and they did really good. And I don't know what happened. I think is that I ordered strawberries from, I don't remember where, but I ordered them online. I think it might have even been from a seller on Amazon, and I didn't have anywhere to put them, which wasn't smart, but I thought, okay, I'm just going to stick them in these beds with the trellises underneath the trellises, and now they've just taken over, which I knew they would do, and we're getting lots of strawberries this year, which is great, which we still need more plants to really be sustainable. And strawberries, we're probably going to go to a strawberry farm not too long from now. I mean, I know that the season is going to be ending soon, and so I really need to be doing that. So anyhow, we have these strawberries, and over here I've got some onions growing along with, this is some sort of weed right here. I need to pull that, and then some volunteer potato plants. I had plans to put in potatoes, but I kind of waited too late, and by the time my husband and I went looking for them, all the potatoes that we were finding were just kind of I don't know, mushy, and I just didn't know if they would grow well at all. So I decided to not grow potatoes this year. And so we're just doing a lot of other things in this bed, or this raised bed garden, and then over on the other side of the house I have a few more things. And over here I've got asparagus and more strawberries and some weeds too I need to pull. And then over here I've got onions and carrots, and then more onions and carrots in that far bed. So these 3 beds are onions and carrots, and everything is growing really good. I'm excited about how everything's going and growing. And then over here I've got my girls. They have their fairy gardens. They've really done a good job with those, and it's just been a lot of fun to try to find things for their garden. And then over here on this side is pretty much new planting, and so I got all this done over the past couple of weeks, and I've got some vegetables in here, but I also have a lot of flowers. Since over on the other side of the house, I am not growing corn or amaranth like I did last year, or watermelon. We have a lot more space, so I'm doing lots of vegetables over there. And then over here, I'm doing a little bit more perennials and just sunflowers and things like that. In this bed, I think I've got some sunflowers. And over here, I've got onions and sunflowers. Okay. I'm going to show you more of my daughter Mabry's fairy garden too in just a minute. She's over here in your little pot? This one over here? Okay, I'll show in just a minute. But anyhow, over here I've got some dwarf sunflowers coming up. I'm excited about that. And this is a daisy. That's a perennial that came back from last year, as well as I've got lots of snapdragons coming up. I had some snapdragons growing last year, and so that's that. And then I also have, I think, some cosmos growing. And over here, I've got some more. These are little sunflowers. And then this is my daughter Mabry's little fairy garden that she's been working on in her pot. So I wanted to show you guys that. And more sunflowers. I've got some tomatoes. These are some older tomato cages that I have, and so I have those. And then peppers here, as well as a few garlic that are strays from last year that I did not pull up. I missed them, and so I have a few garlic. And then more tomatoes, and some more peppers and potatoes from last year. Some rogue potatoes that I missed too. So we'll see if we get anything from that. Now over here, these are the trellises that I had over by the strawberries. And my husband, he moved them over here for me. And so I knew it would be good anyhow for the beans to have, you know, a new fresh soil just to rotate them. I did add compost as well as like a granulated organic fertilizer to all of these beds. But the beans are coming up. These are all beans that I saved from seed from last year, so that's exciting, and I hope they do good. And see, here's this massive oregano bed. We need to trim this, give it a haircut, and give it to our chickens and our goats. As well as, you know, we use it too, of course, in our home, but it's great for chickens and goats. It's like an antimicrobial, and so it's really good to feed to them. And then I have, that is a leftover cabbage from, I think I planted that in the fall, and it's still going. I don't think it's gonna produce anything. I probably just need to pull it, but I have a hard time pulling plants. I don't know, I just have a hard time doing it. And then here I've got some more strawberries, some echinacea, and lemon balm. And this plant is just huge. And guys, I don't know if you could remember, if you watched any of my previous garden tours, is there was lemon balm and comfrey too, just growing all in the walkways. And it was really hard for me to do, but I did finally we pulled it all up because we have so much of it. And I've taken a lot of the baby plants from this plant, and I've planted it in different parts of the yard. And so, I mean, it will be going strong, but I finally decided to pull it from the walkways just to make it a little cleaner and nicer for us to walk around over here. I didn't really want it to take over in the walkways anyhow, so I did that. And then over here, I just planted, you can't really tell, I planted just a wildflower mix, and we'll just see how that goes, if anything comes from it. It's just a perennial wildflower mix, which I know a raised bed's not really ideal for that, but I just thought it would be fun to see what would come up because I got this bag of wildflower seeds from Tractor Supply. And over here, I've got some cucumbers. These are coming up. And I love cucumbers. I love eating just cucumber sandwiches during the summertime. So I'm excited about that. These are Dar cucumbers from Baker Creek, I believe. And over here, we got echinacea and calendula, and then this is a comfrey plant, which I probably need to rip up. I originally had comfrey in one of these beds, and it just started taking over, as comfrey does. I don't think that was really wise of me to put it there, but anyhow, but this one just kind of like popped up right at the edge of this bed, and I'm like, you know, it might be a good place for it, but at the same time, it'll start just spreading, and there'll be a comfrey all over the place. Here's another example. Here's another comfrey right here. They're just coming up everywhere. And then over here, I've got some weeds, as well as that is a North Georgia candy roaster coming up. We made pies out of those last year, so I'm excited about that. And then I've got some celery. right here. And then along the back, let me see, I'm kind of in the shade, or there I am. Okay, and over here, I planted some butterfly weed that I grew from seed last year, and it's doing okay. I hope that it lives, that it does good. And a different type of echinacea that is like a yellow echinacea. These are just babies. I started these from seed. And then along the back, I think it might be too shaded right here, but I went ahead and planted some pole beans so they could climb up the back of the fence. And then I did the same thing here with the pole beans. And then I also planted zinnias over here. So I have high hopes for all of this stuff. I'm really excited about it. This is my son's bed right here, and he planted a bunch of candy roasters, I think. Which they're probably a little too close together.
And watermelon.
And watermelon. We'll have to probably fix that up. Maybe pull out a few, you know, just to give them space to grow. If they grow. The candy roasters did awesome for us last year, but we did it on the other side of the house where we have drip irrigation and we don't have drip over here. And so it's just totally reliant on me and remembering to water the garden. So that's one of the reasons why I moved a lot of the vegetables over there. And we also have a high tunnel that we are going to be installing, I think, hopefully by the end of the summer, so I can have it available for the fall and winter. And we'll probably do drip over there too. Okay, now I want to show you this area. I'm so excited. This was my Mother's Day gift. It is covered and it looks so much better. I don't know if you guys remember, if you have watched any of my other videos, I had a huge pile of like cardboard all over the place, and yeah, it was just a huge mess. But we got all that up. My husband and my sons, they pulled out, or there were stumps in here and they got the stumps out. There was like a broken mirror back here and they got that up. And so it's like a total fresh slate for me. And so this is going to be, I don't know. I want it to be like an herb garden, but it's kind of like in the woods. It's kind of shaded. And so I have to do a lot of research to see what kind of stuff can grow back here. I'm thinking herbs and perennials. But yeah, it is ready. So I'm so happy about it. I don't know if I'm going to get to it much this year, to be honest, but at least I know that it's not going to continuously be, it was just like, there was so many like vines and Japanese honeysuckle, poison ivy, Virginia creeper. It was just, you know, so much. And so it was just like this continual cycle of everything like coming up from the bottom and choking out plants because of these vines that were choking everything out. But over here, I've got some echinacea. I bought these. Let's see. I bought these last year. It's just powwow wildberry coneflower. And then I've got some false indigo right here. And then over here, I've got thyme, more oregano, bee balm. These are getting nice and tall. I can't wait for them to bloom. I'm really excited about it. Some more thyme. This is chocolate mint. I got this from, I think it was Lowe's. I think I got it from Lowe's. And then these are Sweet William. They're really pretty. And then some more bee balm. And these are some echinacea, just purple coneflower, and thyme. This echinacea, I got a single echinacea plant back when we lived in South Carolina. Probably was in 2018, I would imagine is when I got it. And we moved back to Georgia, and I pulled up that one plant and I brought it with me in 2019, and it has given me so many little plants. So that's really exciting. And I'm just so excited that I can get back here easily now. I'm not worried about ticks at the moment. So it's great. This is this catnip, I purchased it last year and it's growing really big. Back again, I've got thyme over here. I've got some St. John's wort here. I planted this from seed last year. I think this might be cilantro that's coming back up, and yarrow. This looks like it might be coneflower, might not be. And I've got some bloody dock right here. And then let's see, over here is some type of mint, I believe. I'm not sure. I have not planted this bed right there this year. This is stuff from last year, except for this right here. This is some anise hyssop. I got that at a native plant nursery that I visited not long ago with my husband. So I really love visiting that nursery when I can. And over here I have a little bed. This is some of that lemon balm that I told you about that I was just starting to plant in different areas. And yeah, I planted it last year and it's getting really big. And so I just have a variety of mainly just perennials right there. This is black-eyed Susan over here. And over here is oregano, more lemon balm. And then I've got some, mainly I guess just perennials or natives that I purchased from that nursery over here. So I have a mountain mint, cardinal flower, some echinacea. That is a ruby slippers oak leaf hydrangea right there. I just purchased a little St. John's wort. Let's see if you can see it right here. And then I also have a lot of blue mist flower coming up. And there's a bee. I love to see little pollinators like this. Came right to the camera, didn't it? Okay. Oh, I just made a hole through my new plastic. That's terrible. I'll have to fix that later. But okay, let me show you on the other side of the house now what I've got going on. Most stuff over there is just from seed. And so it's just starting to come up. I did plant tomatoes and peppers, and something is getting some of my tomatoes, which is very disappointing. I don't know what it is, what could be chewing them down. I don't have any kind of protectant around them right now. And I don't know if I'm going to, so we'll just have to see what happens. But I'm excited how everything's coming together. I know it's kind of overwhelming at the very beginning of the season, where it's just everything is starting to get overgrown and just a big mess. But it's so nice to get everything like tidied up and whatnot. So, all right, let me show you over here. This is our in-ground garden. We have drip to this one. And so I'll tell you what I've planted. It was a lot of work getting all of this weeded and whatnot, but it's pretty much done, or it is done, but weeds are now starting to kind of come up along the edges, and I need to redo that part. But on this row, I've got sunflowers on the first two rows. I really like sunflowers to be kind of in the front because it's so pretty to see when you're like pulling into the house or you walk outside. Those are golden squash, so I have squash on this row, just like yellow summer squash. And on this row, I've got green zucchini. And over here, I've got 2 rows of dar cucumbers. They're starting to come up. And then okra on this row. I don't see any okra coming up yet. And then over here, I've got just a variety of different peppers and tomatoes. And I was going to put like cattle panels up for the tomatoes, and I just didn't do it. And so for this year, we're just using the tomato stakes that I had from last year. So I guess that's pretty much what I have going on. I do have one other area in the back of the house where I planted some candy roasters and some, yes, there's banana peppers here too. Mabry wanted to make sure that I mentioned the banana peppers. Yeah, and Amish paste tomatoes, so a lot of our tomatoes and peppers are right here. But I do have some candy roasters and have some sunflowers in the back of the house. And then I also have another little area where I planted, I might walk you over there and show you, where I'm starting to do some more of the native plants. These are not edible, but they are cute little natives, and hopefully they'll start to naturalize. And we just have so much stuff here that is not native. and that just wants to choke out the landscape. And so I'm trying to do what I can to fix that. I mean, it's going to be a huge undertaking to do that, but that is what I'm trying to do. And so over here, kind of, it's like by our chicken coop and our goat milking area, there's just this little corner, and I'm starting to try to put some things here. And so I got, see, 2 oak leaf hydrangeas. See one over there. And these little dwarf irises. Let's see what these are exactly. Dwarf crested irises. And so I bought 2 of these actually, but I was able to separate them into 5. And then over here I have a honeysuckle, but it is not the Japanese honeysuckle that likes to choke everything out. It is a native honeysuckle called Mountain Diarvilla. I'm probably pronouncing that incorrectly, but it is more like a bush type honeysuckle, and it is native to our area. So that's exciting. And I got all of these, I don't know, I guess it was last weekend. So thank you for coming along with me on my little garden tour today. If you have a garden, I hope it's doing good. It's really exciting. It's May and just the start of everything, and I just can't wait to see how everything grows this year. So anyhow, I guess thank you for stopping by with me today, and I will talk with you soon.